Are you thinking about the quality of your indoor air? That is the question of the day. Hello, this is Aishan, aka the Omnivorist. I'm a nutritional therapy practitioner in Paris, France, and I'm passionate about helping busy moms recover their energy and vitality through real food and healthy habits. And welcome to my series, Ask the Omnivorist, where I answer your burning questions about nutrition and health every Friday morning. Now, as you know, I always talk about the importance of basing your diet on real whole foods that have been grown without chemicals. But environmental toxins, including air pollution, are also just as important and represent a huge stress on our bodies. As you know, I live in Paris, and it is one of the most polluted cities in Europe. And in fact, many French cities are just as bad. And the more you know about it, the more you get despondent because you feel like there is really so little that you can do. So you might as well just go, wah, 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 it's one of those things. But here is something that you might be surprised to hear. Your indoor air may be just as toxic, if not more, than what's outside. And since we spend more and more of our time indoors nowadays, it is really important to be thinking about this. Because this is really the air that we're breathing most of our waking hours. We are much more indoors nowadays than outdoors, which is, problematic for other reasons. But today's question is all about whether we are doing enough to make sure that our indoor air is breathable. Now, the fact that actually indoor air is toxic and just as important as outdoor pollution is actually, it's something that we have known for quite some time. But here is something crazy that's becoming more apparent only recently. Indoor air pollution turns out to be a huge contributor to air pollution in general. We normally think of, transport emissions as being the major polluter of the atmosphere. But scientists just conducted a study in Los Angeles where they found that up to half of all the particulate matter that's polluting the air was coming from household and industrial products. Can you imagine? That is huge. So just to explain to you a little bit of what that mechanism looks like. These products release what are called volatile organic compounds, or VOCs, into the air. And these compounds are already pretty toxic in and of themselves, but they become even more problematic because they break down into these really teeny particles called PM2.5, and that is particulate matter with a diameter smaller than 2.5 micrometers. Now that is really, really extremely tiny. That is about 3% of a strand of hair, and it can only be seen with an electron microscope. And this is what makes them so dangerous. Because of their small size, they stay in the air longer and can be inhaled really, really easily and lodged deep into our lungs. So obviously this is problematic for all kinds of respiratory illness, acute and chronic, and it can also be problematic for other conditions like heart disease and cancer, and particularly breast cancer. So what is actually polluting our air and our bodies? Now, the biggest household pollutants include commercial cleaning products, also cosmetics and personal products like perfumes and really anything that has any fragrance, air fresheners, paraffin-based candles, and also household items like, your decorations, your furniture, your carpeting or mattresses. All of these also are off-gassing VOCs. And VOCs are, of course, also really high in things like paints and varnishes. And these are really, really harmful to breathe. Now, scientists have counted something like 900 chemical substances in indoor air that are largely as a result of cleaning products and air fresheners. So I really find it ironic that, we're actually really polluting our air and our bodies when we're trying to clean our homes and ourselves. And even though the manufacturers of these products like to say that, the doses are too small to matter, well, it is that cumulative effect, that toxic cocktail, if you will, that is so problematic. So in other words, while just one drop of any one chemical may not matter too much, chances are that is not the only thing that you're being exposed to. And it's that aggregate exposure that is what is really dangerous for you and for your children's health. And of course, if you think about it again from the evolutionary perspective, our livers have evolved with these amazing capacities to keep us safe and keep us especially safe from toxins. But we evolved at a time when all the toxins we were exposed to were part of the natural world. So all of these, man-made chemicals are a very recent development, and we've definitely not had time to evolve and to adapt to handling them properly. Conventional cleaning products are supposed to leave that clean smell, but that just means that they're releasing VOCs into the air. And also bleach, which has become, synonymous with cleanliness, at least here where I live in France, that it releases noxious gases into the air, and it really does not have a place in your home. Now, here's maybe a little bit of good news in all of this, which you might imagine I was going to say this. As opposed to other factors of air pollution that seem so beyond our reach, we can actually do something about our internal air. So what should you do? Here are some of my best tips for you. Now, air your house at least 15 minutes a day. Now, if you live near a road, make sure that you're doing this early in the morning or late in the evening so that you're avoiding that traffic pollution. Also, cleaning products, make sure that you're switching to greener products to clean your house. And know that you almost never need to resort to harsh chemicals like bleach. And also, don't fall for the marketing hype. You don't need a separate product for the windows, for the toilet, for the floors, for the stove, etc., etc. You can actually keep things really simple by just using white vinegar, baking soda, and savon noir. Really, with those things, you're going to be able to get all of your needs met, and it's also going to be a lot more economical. Also, make sure that you're favoring natural materials when decorating your home, especially if you have small children or are about to welcome a new baby. So carpets can be really, really toxic. So choose something natural like cotton or wool or bamboo, for example. Furniture can also be really toxic because of things like varnishes and also particle board. So make sure that you are choosing solid wood, and you can also consider buying secondhand or vintage. Now, we spend a third of our days sleeping, and for small children, it's even more. And yet, most conventional mattresses could be extremely toxic. I mean, it's insane to think about this, but it's true. So definitely do your research about that and consider changing to a more ecological option. Now, these options can definitely be more expensive, so maybe consider first investing in better mattresses for your kids. Also, avoid conventional paraffin-based candles and use pure beeswax candles instead. And these also help clean the air. And avoid all synthetic fragrances and perfumes, which come at a real cost for respiratory health, especially for the little ones. The thing is, when you think of, fuel emissions, cars are supposed to keep, at least new technology is supposed to keep those emissions under control, right? And not release into the atmosphere. But when we're talking about products like these, they are actually designed to release those VOCs into the air so that that smell stays there. So keep that in mind. And there is very, very little regulation about all of that stuff. So you really need to be doing your own research. And last but not least, consider investing in a HEPA filter for your home, or at least for the bedroom. And you can also fill the house with plants. So that is what I have for you today. I really hope that you found this information useful. Once again, if you have any questions or comments for me, you can leave me a comment or send me a private message. And if you are interested in doing this work of nutritional therapy and lifestyle changes on a deeper, more personalized level, know that I offer a few spots for one-on-one packages with clients. If you are interested in finding out more about that, just drop me a line at contact@theomnivorous.com and we can set up a call to find out if this might be a good idea for you. Now, have a wonderful day, and I will see you right here next Friday.